on this one. And the first one we do is going to be alpha window. Remember yesterday, alpha y equals created fraction bar? Alpha window gets us into a shortcut of many of the things that we'll do as far as the first one's absolute value, summation. We're not going to do derivatives. We'll do log-based X roots, permutation combinations we do next year. 9 is the exclamation point when we do factorial. Sorry, that never gets old. I'm sorry. Anyway, so the one that we're going to look at here is the first one. First option says ABS. It stands for absolute value. If you look at the symbol to the right of it in blue, you'll see it's got the uprights. Okay. As you look through here, these are all what your symbols for all the other stuff will look like. We'll get to it later on. So just hit enter because it's already highlighted. And what I want you to do is just put in X. You guys know where the X button is on the calculator? Jerks. Hit graph. So, ladies and gentlemen, so what this is doing, obviously, it makes a V. Now, if you think about it, absolute value, like we just talked about, the absolute value of 1 is 1, the absolute value of 2 is 2, absolute value of negative 2 is 2, absolute value of negative 4 is 4, and so on. So, let me show you what's doing in the calculator. What I want you to do is hit second graph. That takes you to a table. Your table probably starts at 0. Okay? If it doesn't, it's not a big deal. All right. If it's starting at 700, I will show you how to reset that. But there are times where things can get kind of messed up if the calculator didn't get redone. So as you're looking at it, what I want you to think about is order of operations. Order of operations says parentheses first. Well, absolute value are kind of like parentheses. They just, stop perfect. So they have, absolute value of negative 4 is 4, and that's where you got your values. Okay. Now go back to y equals again. Hit the down button to go pick another graph. And now I want to put in the number 2 first. And now absolute value, alpha window. It's already highlighted because it's the first option. Hit enter, and let's put the X in again. Now hit graph. What's changed? It's gotten smaller. It's gotten the lines themselves have become narrower, but think about it in terms of slope. It becomes steeper, right? So again, think about it in terms of order of operations. What's the absolute value of 1? What's 1 times 2? 2. What's the absolute value of 2? What's 2 times 2? So look at your table. See how it's working as it's going through the order of operations of substitution. It's still doing the same. Your heart slow down again. No, it's too late though. In the back of your mind, you're like, no. All right, let's try again. Next one. This time I'm going to do 2 alpha window, absolute value of X. And now on the right side of it, I'm going to put plus 3. So now that is outside of the absolute value. So before we hit graph, I want you to think about what's happening with the ordered pairs. If I choose the number 2, what's the absolute value of 2? What's 2 times 2? And then I add 3 to it, and I get 7. So at 2, it should be at 7. Watch the graph. What did the graph do? It moved up 3, didn't it? Okay. It moved up 3. Okay. Let's do another one. Y equals. Fourth graph. 2, absolute value, x minus 2 plus 3. Oops. Hey, graph. Where did that graph go? Where did it move? It moved over to which direction? It moved to the right too. Okay. What's wrong? Okay. Y equals 2, absolute value. Let's do x plus 2. Go on the outside, plus 3. Which way is it going to go now? Which is the other way? Help center your lines back out now. All right, so now what, you really want to mess with you? Okay. Y equals negative. The negative button is different than the minus button. The negative button is down next to the decimal. If you use minus, it's not going to work. Absolute value, x, graph. What did I do? I inverted it. Because think about your order of operations. Your order of operations say to take care of parentheses first. Absolute value is kind of like parentheses, and then you multiply everything by -1, which meant it flipped. Okay. So, how many more y equals do we have? We could make this look pretty cool. Oh, we only have 3 left? Nuts. Is there 4 left? Okay. All right, watch this then. Let's make your graph look really cool. -2, absolute value of x. We'll do a plus 3. Basically, I'm going to do all the ones that we have above it with a -2 now. It's all of the same 3 that you had on there, just with a -2 out in front. I think I'm missing one. Nah. Anyway, you can just do a lot of cool things. It looks cool. Back in my day, the ones we had weren't colored like this. All right, anyway, let's go back to where I'm going here from. So what we've done here, guys, do you still have a couple of spots of graph paper from the other day? I've got some spares, so if not, I got some extra. take some and pass it around. If you need one, great. If you don't, just throw it around. I'll get it. Okay? So what we've done here, guys, sorry, it didn't load right. So what we've done here, guys, is this y equals the absolute value of x. That's just a plain old what we call a parent function. Oh, Xander, there should be something going back. Anybody else got another spare sheet lying around, or you got extra spares? This is called a parent function. Parent function is just a regular, boring function with no shift to it or no multiplier to it. So absolute value of x is just the plain old boring absolute value of x. Like we did a second ago, it just had a slope of 1 on both sides. It started at the origin, and it just reflected about the y-axis. Now, what happens when we started messing around with it in our calculators, we put a multiplier to it, we put a horizontal shift to it, and we put a vertical shift to it. All right. So when you move something left and right, you're moving it horizontally, which means you're moving the which values? X's. And when you're moving something vertically, you're moving it y values. So you get this is a parent function, and this is a shifted function. And this is what we work with a lot. A, H, and K. A, H, and K deal with a multiplier for A, whether it is later on when we talk about sine, cosine, and tangent, well, basically sine and cosine, excuse me. We call it an amplitude, how high up something goes, up or down. H and K is a horizontal or a vertical shift. It sounds stupid, but what comes first in the alphabet? Horizontal or vertical? What comes first in the alphabet? X or Y? X. Horizontal goes with the X's, vertical goes with the Y. Okay. Yep. Because now when you have this written out in terms of a shifted function, for absolute value graphs, the center, the starting point, if you will, is at HK, and A is your slope. So if you think about what we just did a second ago, we had y equals 2 absolute value x minus 2 plus 3. That meant my A value was 2. My H value is 2. My K value is 3. And what's going to take a little while to get used to is, notice how it says x minus h. That means it's x minus 2. That means 2 is h. If it was x plus 4, h would have been negative 4. This would have been minus and negative 4. Okay? And that's where you'll get to, once you start learning that with the h's, it's mainly with h's. K's are always just what the value is. K here is 3, which means this graph started at the ordered pair 2, 3, and it had a slope of 2. So go back to, if you look at your calculator, if you still have that in there, if you don't, it's no big deal. If you look at the graph then, we started at 2, 3, and I had a slope of 2. I went up 2, right 1. Up 2, right 1. I went up that direction, but then it has to mirror it to the other side up to left 1. And there was our absolute value graph. That's all it meant. This is where A, H, and K start with. We learn it first with absolute value because, as you guys know, walking and working with slopes is pretty darn simple. As we get going into quadratics, you may or may not have remembered when you guys graphed stuff in quadratics, you had ax squared plus bx plus c, where you got the opposite of b over 2a, you get your vertex and do all that other stuff. Well, there's also a thing called vertex form, which was a x minus h quantity squared plus k, where h and k are your vertex and a is your multiplier tool as you go through it. We use this idea of a shifted function with a horizontal and a vertical shift to things. I know you're going to hate it. I say it all the time. But this is how most of the math stuff works. Easy. What else to try? Okay. Should we try another one? Okay. Let's try another one. Same idea. Y equals negative 2/3 absolute value of x plus 3 minus 4. Rough sketching. You can use graph paper. Don't do that. These are nice when you have slopes because it's really easy to walk on graph paper. What is your A value for this? Negative 2/3. A is negative 2/3. And your starting point is at? Very good. Negative 3, negative 4. Remember, it's A or x minus h. So in order for it to be a plus 3, it had to be x minus negative 3. When you have your parent function, remember, it's absolute value of x minus h. Since this is x plus 3, your h value has to be negative 3 because it would be x minus negative 3. That's how you generate a plus 3. Or like you said, this one. Oh! What do you mean? Hey, no, it's this is where we're going to start our graph at negative 3 and 4. Negative 4, sorry. Okay. So wherever that ordered pair is where I start my graph. Negative 3, negative 4, and now I want my slope. No, not necessarily. If this was minus 3, I would have started at positive 3, negative 4. Yep. So here, I know my graph starts at negative 3, negative 4. And I just walk my slopes in both directions. My slope is negative 2/3, so I'm going to go down to right 3. And the opposite, well, I don't want to say opposite, but I'm going to go down and left. And there's my graph. What's that? Yay! Mighty roar goes through the crowd, not like yelling the number 9. Air 5 for that. Okay. Not terrible, is it? Kind of. Uno más?
Yeah.
Uno más. So I have y equals 5/4 times the absolute value of x minus 2, all subtract 4. Okay? Which means my ordered pair that I start at is at to -4. Very good. My slope, my A value, is 5 quarts. So let's see. 2, -4. And we count. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4 little, 5. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4 little, 5. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4 little, 5. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little, 5, 4 little, 5. And a mighty roar goes through the crowd. Is that better? Yes, no, maybe so? Okay, now here's the worst case scenario. Now, I don't think your head's going to spontaneously explode from writing the equation of a absolute value graph. But if I give you guys a graph, if I give you a graph, let me see if I can highlight stuff a little bit better. Can you give me oh, that's bad. If I give you a graph, can you give me an equation? All right, go for it. You're so far away. I didn't throw anything at you. Get over it. Sorry, not to scale. Is that better? Sorry, I thought it was wrong to begin with. Anyway, let's see. Oh. First thing in the morning. Oh wait, I was this all about. What's that? You guys are like, oh, Murphy's not like 7. But then next year, like Denny's like cool, and then she gets a real witty stuff. I'm not that witty. I just make loud voices. What's your A value? H and K? Well, what's the order pair for the H K to start with? 3, 1? Which gives me y equals negative absolute value, x minus 3 plus 1. Do I have to put a minus 1 in front? I just put a negative symbol. Works for me. What's that? Nope. I don't care. I thought. Did I post the homework yet? I did. Do those. They're really easy, guys. I gave you 3 graphs, and I asked you to write the equation of 6 of them. I think your graph paper that you have right now, you should have at least 3 spots left. So let's get that done. I forgot. I told this the first hour, and I ran out of time and forgot it. I hadn't gotten it done yet. I made a quick little review sheet about writing equations and stuff. So we're gonna have like a little quiz thingy on Tuesday. I don't know what it is. Some quiz test, some sort of an assessment. And what I'll do is I'll post it. I'll post it on the calendar for today as well. I'll probably just get that done during Flex real quick. I'll upload it so that way there's some extra problems. So if you get rambunctious and bored, because no one ever gets bored on a weekend doing, other stuff besides math. But if you wanted to look at it, please get started. So we'll go through a lot of that on Monday. Because like I said earlier, Monday tests are awful. If you can avoid them at all costs, I will avoid them. So I'm going to avoid one. Sound good? You got time to work on it, go for it. Let me hit pause real quick.